real strategical approach to unleash your full potential of mainframe DevOps. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I am Vijayalakshmi, CEO of VR NextGen Technologies with 28 years of industry experience. My journey has been about driving digital transformation through mainframe modernization, data, AI, and zDevOps. And I'm also IBM AI certified in AI on mainframe. So I'm going to be your speaker for today's session. And here is my LinkedIn credentials as well as our company page. You can follow us continuously so that you can come to know about our series of webinar which is going to come out in the future. Here's the agenda. We are going to talk about ourselves and our offerings and our automated solutions and the deep dive about our webinar topic. We are going to understand completely how automated way we are going to migrate this to the modern infrastructure and how the modern way of build and deployment is going to happen. We'll be having the live demo as well. And at last, we'll have Q&A slot where we were happy to answer all your queries. And I wanted to set a guidelines with the interest of our time and to without any distraction. I wanted to go through the complete webinar agenda. And in between, if you have any queries, you can probably have this in your chat window texted so that we can look into it and answer at the end. And you will be given an opportunity to raise any questions and we are happy to answer at the end. Yeah, with that, let us get into the topic. So about us, who we are and what we do. So we are NextGen as a future ready and innovation startup committed for accelerating digital transformation across the enterprise. So we focus predominantly on application modernization, infrastructure modernization, data AI and agentic AI solution, and enterprise DevOps adoption. We have our own in-house mainframe innovation lab, which is actually installed and configured with ZOS 3.1, which is the latest mainframe operating system, which is AI infused and quantum safe operating system. So we have this installed and configured, or the server enablement was the first milestone which we set up, because this helps us to do end-to-end modernization POCs and solutions for our customers, and hands-on training and demo which we can prepare to showcase our customer pain points, and which is again enabler for hybrid cloud, AI and API first transformations. So this is how our mainframe innovation lab is configured. So we have all our modern toolings installed and configured, which will support for our migration and transformation journey. IBM Developer for Z or VS Code Editor for Z, which is a modern development environment, which will help for the mainframe developer to develop in a modern way. Zuvi is again another Zuvi Explorer can be an option, and IBM DBB dependency-based build, which is for a modern build as well as for CI/CD orchestration. And for the deployment, we have UCDZ or DevOps deploy, or the tools for implementing your automated deployment for mainframe applications. ZOS Connect, which is for API-based modernization, and ZOSMF, web-based system management, which helps for an infrastructure-specific managed automated engagements, and ZO open automation utilities, which will help you to automate major tasks with Python-based scripting rather than the legacy JCLs or legacy Rex-based scripts. The modern Gen Z developers can able to come out with an automation with the help of this open utilities. And of course, your any kind of a web enablement, web services we can adopt with REST and SOAP enablement. So this is how our innovation tools looks like. Your modern analysis, code change, build and deploy interfaces. So this is how your legacy green screen can be transformed with this modern IDEs or interfaces. And we also have a innovation lab, which means the capabilities on a standpoint. So Python A toolkit, which will support for coming out with a based application on mainframe. Your deep learning and machine learning compiler, which is actually to build your foundation models and work with foundation models, and your conversationally generative AI like Watson X assistant, Watson X code assistants, and to build the agent with Watson X orchestration and coming out with any kind of an agentic AI solution, AXA platform, and of course the open utilities for any kind of an automations. And so these things are inbuilt in-house capabilities which will help us for our customers digitalization transformation. So here is our data and A specific certifications which we have in-house. This shows our capabilities and strength on data and AML, and right, all kind of platforms like A based platform and framework, what's next dot A, and the framework like LLM frameworks or long chain, LangGraph, Langsmith, kind of frameworks which will help us to construct our own agents and agentic AI solutions. And we are also evaluate the better RAG and vector database for keeping our data for retrieval and any kind of integrations. So these are all our in-house capabilities on a standpoint. So here is our uh, services and offerings. Like our offerings or services will be into application and infrastructure related modernizations, and will also support on any kind of an cloud related migrations with migrating and data from legacy to cloud, and to come out with an cloud native integrations and emulated transformations. Will support our customers on cost effective emulated transformation and hash transformation from a legacy green screen applications to modern web-based applications with cost-effective way. And we'll support our customers on zDevOPs implementation with the pipeline orchestration and AI and agentic AI enablement uh, with the help of preparing, coming out with chatbot and any other kind of an LLM based applications which we'll use in-house. So we do have our own in-house lead management voice bot and web-based solution called WebBot and employee survey bot, which were built and tested, and it is in beta testing mode currently. So these are services, and we have our own innovation solutions as a part of a continuous research and development. We keep our innovation solutions evolve, which will address our client challenges, which may automate or ease our migration or transformation journey. So in a way, we have product VRX Z MIG TSS, which will automatically migrate from top secret to backup, and ZMIG ACF2, which will automatically migrate our security definitions from ACF2 to RACF, and VRX ZMIG Git, which will support uh, almost 90% automated migration from your legacy SCM to Git-based SCM tool, and your VRX MIG emulator, which is an automated emulator migration solution, which we have in-house, which will support for a various vendor products, and it can be customized too. And VRX Lead Zeni, which is an agentic AI solution for lead management system, and VRX Buddy, which is an agentic AI solution or agentic AI powered assistant for your web-based inquiries. So this list is continuously going to evolve further. And let us deep dive into our webinar topic. And here we go. So, what exactly the challenges which we have on the legacy application? And just to have a quick glance. So, whatever the code change is going to happen, we need to work on with the green screen. So, where it is legacy, as we said, and the getting in skill on this technology is very niche and it becomes a skill shortage. We're not finding the people, and it the applications have lack of documentation. We don't have much better understanding about the application dependencies, and in case if you are going for a deployment, it has to go through the various manual steps, and which is obviously consuming a time, and it is an error prone, and there is no collaboration between the development team and the deployment team or operational team. There is a huge isolation, and eventually which also leads to your lack of DevOps, and it has a limitation on AI enablement. You cannot take advantage of today's AI related capabilities if you keep your application legacy. And also the legacy, some of the tools are heavy licensing cost, and because of latest advancement of technology, you can reduce your infrastructure and application licensing cost with adopting the latest tools and technologies. With these challenges as set, right, we have to take a call to understand how we can overcome, address these challenges. So to overcome this, obviously your application have to be modernized. When you wanted to modernize your application with the modern tools and technologies, which obviously there is an infrastructure need to be set up to handle this modern tools, or the modern tools need to be installed and configured, and which will also help you to go for a process modernization, which is nothing but your zDevOps adoption. So this way we can able to address the challenges which exist in the legacy applications or legacy infrastructure. So let's have a quick glance about how the life of legacy development takes place. So the legacy way of mainframe developers, when they come across any kind of a code change or change request, right? So they have to make use of their legacy SCM, check out the code from the legacy SCM and do start work on, right? So it obviously, as we told, the code change happens with an ISPF panel interface to do the code change, which is an time consuming. It does not showcase your impact analysis. So when you do the enhancement of code change, what are the dependence applications are there? What are the dependencies? How it is going to impact the change? So to get understand, you're going to take weeks and weeks of time, sometimes in months. So that's how the code change analysis is happening, and then code change is happening. And post which it has to be tested. The testing mostly in the manual means of testing because it has a limited automation capabilities, and of course the change handovers happens through the other team, and it is there is no transparency between these two teams. They sit isolated way, they may not sit together, and it happens, it handovers happens through the manual process. The other end team sits in somewhere, they works in a different time zone. There is no correlation between these two terms, these two teams, sorry. And so the deployment happens through some scheduled time slot, which may not be transparent. So it does not have much flexible windows. So whenever the deployment has to happen in that fixed window, it is going to happen. So that's how the current legacy development cycle happens, goes through, right? So there isn't huge the manual means of process involved, and legacy tools, and lack of the people who are available to handle this, and there is a lack of uh, modern tool enablement, and lack of getting an advantage of modern or latest technologies. So that's about it. So now, when we discuss about how do we modernize this, right? So how the modern automated technology is available to automate this in the sense. So here is our approach. So the legacy SCM, the application defined in the legacy SCM, can be taken to a Git in an automated way instead of manually exporting your source code and importing into a Git may take time, and there will be a huge versions which remains in your legacy system because the applications is defined with 2 to 3 decades. So there is a version histories or there, lack of documentation. So manually handling this will be a time consuming, right? So when you're going to complete, and there is a lack of skill shortage also. So with this, you have to rely on some automated solution. So something which does at the faster pace. So how soon you can able to migrate? At least to some extent, if you migrate, you can have to look into it instead of 1.5 years to do on manual migration. You can able to make it within 3 months. So that's what we are going to talk about, or we are going to see how automatically we are going to migrate. And once migrate, how your modern tooling is going to help ease your developers to do the code change with the tools like IBM Developer for Z or VS Code to do the code change with a modern IDE that may simplify their task, that may consume a less time, and your modern developers can also easily adopt with this rather than the legacy skills. And we'll also see how this modern tools, for example, GitHub, which will version the code with a GitHub account. And in case if you wanted to go for an orchestration like CI/CD, how your GitHub Actions is going to support your CI/CD automation. So how to push the code to this, and how automatically the build triggers, and where your automated test scripts can be called, and integration test may happen, and also the deployment happens in an automated way. So there will be a pipeline which we can prepare, and so it can go through in an automated way, and there will be a transparency maintained, and your task is much faster, right? So this is the kind of an automation we are talking about, from legacy to modern SEM, and the modern code change, modern build, and modern deploy. And completely your build and deploy can be automated as well. So this is what all about the topic. We are going to see the in detail on how this can be achieved. So let us talk about the first case of, first of all, I have to come out from this legacy and take it for this. All my source code need to be in Git. So as whatever the challenges we have already listed, due to that, we are going to go for this modernization approach, because the manual means is going to take huge time. So with a heavy licensing cost, huge migration time, we are going to come out with a solutions, or we are going to use our automation tool. So with the help of our master skills and a great expertise from an industry for such a long, we have a very good solution which will help us to get the complete application source files along with our historical information in a programmatic way with less time, with the help of your uh, kind of a single click, and you can able to take it to your uh, modern tooling easily, and we can able to validate and verify as well. So when you say modernize, you can also pick and choose which tool you wanted. Accordingly, this can be customized, and you can validate and verify once the data is migrated to your model tool. So because of this, we can able to adopt your modern tooling, and we can go for zDevOps implementation. We can also orchestrate your CI/CD and AI-based enablement. Those things are feasible once you complete this as a first step. So this is how our solution works. So your applications can be extracted our automated engine, VRX Git is going to extract your whatever is the data required. Required data will be extracted and be kept in an intermediate format. Further, depending on your target tooling, whatever you pick and choose through our interface, our mapping rule happens through the entities of source to target will get mapped, aligned, and then it will start moving your application assets into your target SCM. And once that is done, we'll have a nice interface where you can able to see once it is done, it can show what is moved to where, and you also have an option to validate through the reports. And the code change once it is migrated. So this is how your IDz interface looks like in the modern way. So you can see your applications are taken to your Git, and from Git it is integrated with IDz to open up your source file, and it is an Eclipse based interface, and it will help you to easily look into your code with modern interfaces, and you can do the code change. There is an easy options of context assist menus which will help you to complete the code, and it can also prompt your error while you code. You can easily do the changes instead of otherwise in a legacy way we will come to know our compilation error only once you compile and at the end. So there will be a huge time lag, right? And you can also see the graphical representation or your program control flows, data control flows, and everything. So this is an advantage of modern IDE. This will reduce your development time, and we can easily onboard or the young developers and who can able to adopt and work through. So now, when you're taking up to GitHub, and this is going to be your version control, so how this version control tool it's going to be differs from your the legacy, right? Or what are the other facility it has got? As a version control tool, it probably completely manage your application assets, uh, and it keeps track of any changes, and it also easily supports your parallel development process of the same code when it has happened with a multiple developers code change. It has a nice interface to showcase your changes made by the multiple developers, and to do the changes, combine those two changes together, and then you move it to the next step, right? So you have a various easy options to look into, compare the changes, and you can able to resolve the conflict and merge those things and take it further the final commit to your the main branch. So here there are some terminologies which I wanted to brief you. So in this, we call something as a repository, which is nothing but it's a storage space which we are going to have it for our complete project or the application which you're going to store. It completely has a list of your repository will list folders, and then it may have subfolders, and subfolders may have files. So that's how it will be structured. So the repository is where your application is going to reside, and it has an the interface something looks like this: files and subfolders. Uh, no. So how do we have it? There is a different acronym comes in picture, and which we need to understand so that we can take it for the next step. So in legacy term, we'll have something called environment name, dev, test, integration, pre-prod, production, emergency, something like that, right? So those things, that is whatever you're looking at this sin is actually legacy way, whatever we call, right? In other words, the same thing, depending on the shop, you would have named something different. That's okay. So in case of a Git-based thing, we used to call as a branches. So the branch is something which is going to hold your environment specific data. So here it is termed a little differently. So whichever is having your production is actually the the current running, the fully tested released version of your code running in production. So the same level here we call something as a main branch or master branch, which will have the fully tested code which is running in the production, right? So this is actually called as a master branch, which you will not, it does your application running from here. And in case if you wanted to take your application for further development, you have to have your feature branch created, and you can take your code and do the code changes. Or in case if your code changes have been done, you can move that for the testing to the test branch. Or if the multiple developers are working, you can have multiple feature branches, and that can be taken to the next to the test, and there will be a release which is similar to your pre-prod. So all your changes have been combined together, and it is set for the next version release. In that case, we'll call as release. And once release and is prepared, it can be again committed to your main, so that always, like how in prod and pre-prod you'll have a same versions reside, here also your master or main and release remains at the same level, and the other branches can be with a different name. Depending upon your shop, we can have multiple other branches as well. So the pictorial representation, so this is how the Git-based branches will look like. So your master branch, and this is a feature branch, we are doing code change. And in case of any errors, you can go through a different route. So that is actually bug friend, or in case of an emergency, you can have a different branch defined. So as whatever we have seen, your master is actually a stable branch. It is a production ready code, and feature is something you're going for a code change. Release is something for the new release, and hot fixes is kind of an emergency, which you can fix it and take it. Here the process may be a little different, so we are calling as a separate hotfix. Any emergency will go through the emergency process, so we'll have a separate branch. So this is how the branching looks like in your GitHub interface. So here whatever I've defined as main, feature and release branches. And this is our modern IDE, which is integrated with your Git. It has got a Git perspective where your whatever the application which you have migrated is actually, I'm cloning here to take my code here. This is a migrated code, whatever you have seen, the application and components, and getting it here, which is cloned with the help of whatever the integration we have made. And this is how the code change happens. Okay, so you can able to take your file, open in your editor, do the code change. So whatever the code change you wanted to do, you can do the code change. And how do we compile your code change? So we have a modern build called IBM dependency based build, and this is again configured in our environment, and we have our IDz is integrated with dependency based build. So if you see, there is an interface as an option, modern dependency based build, and where you can able to configure and do the user build. So user build is something the developer who does the code change has to build the application for whatever he has changed. That is called as a user build. So this is DBB is purely meant for compiling your application. It is a conventional way of compile and link edit is driven through your wizard. And so this basically creates your compiler listing and everything in your sandbox area, which we would have configured in our Unix system services folders or directories. And in case of any error, it will be prompt you in the modern interface itself. And for a deployment, So once it is compiled with DBB, of course, you're going to see the complete build code change. The live demo we are going to see, but just I'm briefing it so to set the context at first. And the deployments happen through your UCD Z, urban code deploy for Z. And this is actually the setup which we have configured. So our the Linux system where your ZDT is enabled and your Windows box with UCD server installed and where your IDz is also connected and your Git can be integrated and UCD agent running on Z system can be connected, and so you can able to do the code deployment in your mainframe environment itself with the help of UCDZ with the server and agent connected together. So your server interface has got the various plugins which will support for your mainframe development activities, and we can do the code changes, code deployment in an automated way. So when you go for an UCD on Z system, there are certain consideration we have to go through and keep it ready so that it supports easily. And your agent has to be installed and configured, and the agent have to be enabled or active on your system, uh, 0s, so that you can able to connect in your server and it becomes an online. So thereon, whatever the request you make, the agent listens and your agent task listens and it does the further deployment activities. And for the deployment, so in a legacy way we would have seen the Endevor deployment process. There will be how the deployment happens through that, right? So instead here we'll have another process which there is a process editor interface where you can try to configure your process steps. As for example, this snapshot shows you how do I deploy my Cobalt DB2 and CICS combinational applications together. So this is how the step probably will deep dive and we'll see how it happens. So the individual detailed session we'll be seeing later. Probably in this demo, we are going to see from how the migration happens and the deployment happens. I'm keeping this little short. So this is a deployment process where we are copying artifacts, deploy things, and for a DB2, we need to prepare the DBRM lib. And there's something, the property window, it happens, it invokes behind the scenes and bind package. So these are all the individual steps where we are making the sequence similar to your JCS. And this side, we are saying your CICS have to be generated with a new copy and your resource definitions have to be prepared. So this is how the deployment happens. So with this set, uh, we have just briefed about the automated migration, how it is happening, the context about the modern IDE, modern build, and modern deploy. Let us see, get into the deep dive into the live demo. You can actually see the migration and code changes here. We go with the first part of the automation, that is migration. So we use our automated tool Git, which automatically extracts your application assets from your Endevor and it converts into your intermediate format, and which then we are taking up into the backend database where all your artifacts which gets loaded for the permanent repository, which can be later used for any kind of a validation, as well as it remains into the database for further references just in case if required. So we have successfully uh, uploaded, and this is the transformation mapping we do as discussed with the earlier. So this is what the mapping. So from source I wanted to take it to GitHub, and the transformation logic is getting invoked and it is completely transforming the application assets which is extracted into your Git based with help of Git specific folder structure, and all these things uploaded successfully now. And here is the Git repository, which you can able to look into it, how we have migrated. So let me go to my GitHub repository. One sec. Yeah, here you go. So these are a repository which we have used for this migration. So if you see, this is what the repo structure, and which has gotten the folder, so which is actually named as similar to whatever the transmission logic we prefer. So this is what the repo name we have chosen. Okay, this was decided, and inside that I can see the application which is migrated as a top level folder, and underneath you will have a subfolders, and which is a components, and underneath you will have a types, and each elements which was there in your Endevor is available in the form of a files, which whatever we have seen as per the transmission logic. And so this is all you can able to see the code, and code changes can able to be performed. So to validate, we have a couple of options. I'm just looking into file count of whatever it was in the legacy and the modern. So it is kind of a tallying, and in case of all other equivalence of files under each components, and its size is also getting tallied. So this shows that we have automatically we have migrated our application into GitHub with the repository and the component naming convention whatever we have decided. So which is then can be, this is second part. Now the migrated application, I wanted to make use of I just wanted to show you how this is got connected from Mainframe. So this is actually our system, Z system there, which is configured with all your latest tooling. So this is one of the tasks which is enabled, which will help you to connect this, and one this is also one another. So because of these agent task is configured, you can able to connect IDE from this. So this is actually already connected. The system is connected. This will help you to access all your mainframe artifacts here, your MBS dataset, TSO commands, as well as your Unix system services, right? So all these, whatever you can able to access through your mainframe, you can able to get it here. And let me just show you this is your data sets. Okay, so now coming back to your Git. So the repository which is migrated is this. So this we wanted to, if you look at the branches, so I've already created the feature branch for any kind of a code change. And with this, I will go for this. You have something called as a Git perspective, which helps you to handle your integration between these two, which is already configured and connected. And so this I can able to get it here by means of cloning it. And let me go for this repo. So I wanted to clone this application so that I can able to get it here, and there is something called as an clone repository. I can able to just get your git clone, and so that I can able to get all my code changes here. So right, this is what I'm doing it, and I could able to see the working tree available here. So this is the component, your application or sub components like sub applications have been taken here. So this I wanted to do the code change, right? So if you wanted to do any kind of a code change, I'll do something called as an uh, switching to a new branch. So I want to do the code change from feature branch. So I'm just doing it, and I wanted to push to the origin. So little bit I'm making fast with the interest of a time. And so now this becomes your code or taken here to the feature branch, which I wanted to do the code change. And so I am creating my zVoice project here to do any kind of a code change. Let's say, for example, I'm going for code changing migrated application, which is already available here. Okay, so let's say I'm just doing So I'm doing code change. I'm saving it. And if you look at the Git, it has sensed. It says that this member is code change. So I wanted to commit this. Okay. So I'm just giving you the commit. So it is asking you where you wanted to take it, which branch. So if you can mention up this, you can see your branches and features. There's our repo, which we have taken. And I could see the branches, feature branch. So there is a branch has got some commit, right? So it has uh, had a commit. So this is code change happened here, and whatever is committed, you can able to see. And let me come back. Let's say, for example, if you want to get this branch, so it is now comparing with your main with future, right? So the main branch, whatever we clone, we did a code change in feature branch. So if you can compare, there is a kind of a change. So you wanted to merge this, create a pull request to create the merge. So this is what happening here. And before that, I wanted to show you the modern build. So now this, we have code change. We wanted to do the build. So for this, you have a dependency based build, which you have to view, right? So dependency based build actually runs from an system. It was connection loss. I'm reconnecting it again. So now it is bringing up. So this is what the other connection parameter I'm making it to do the DBB build. Okay. So I'm setting up all my context here. So which repository I'm going to build. And so it is now configured. And I am going to now do the user build. So this will initiate, say, DBB build. If you go to the console, the build has initiated. See, your Groovy DBB dependency based build for this application on this repo, migrated repo, has been initiated, and this is going to do your modern build. So let's wait for some time so that you can able to see the build, whatever is completed, we can able to see it. So now I'll go back again for Git just to show you. So these things you can able to create the old request. You can try to merge this. So it is now checking. So there is no conflict and you can able to merge this and confirm merge so that now whatever the changes you made this, it has been created, merged, and it is closed. So which you can give the commit also. Let's change this commit. So now, whatever the code change I did, now I just made my main branch committed. Because this is what we did it here. So this is the way of doing a modern. Yes. So this is what your build results. See, the build has been completed and you can able to see the build results here. So the build results it's showing up and if you can see this, this is how it will get invoked. So it is trying to call various other required dependencies and whatever the sandbox we have mentioned. So there, from there, it is taking up all your configurable items where the compiler need to be invoked, what are the compiler options and those things. And so this is what your compiler see, it is getting invoked. And these are all the data sets which your compilation will refer. And of course, if you can see that, so these are all the build intermediate. It's kind of a compiler listing whatever you see. So this is how your modern way of build will work. This is in the form of a Ruby script, Java based script. So whatever we are giving, the same thing we are giving. Say for example, for a DBB, where the output data set is going to be, what are the load, where it has to keep the loads and everything, we are giving it here. So this is what actually the build does, and which is equal to your normal compilation way of it. So what we have seen as of now is actually your migrating your application from Endevor to Git, and we did code change, integrating this with an IDz. IDz is a modern developer tool, and then we have built this code change with the help of a DBB. So this shows from migrated to build option. So henceforth, you have various other options to take it for the modern way. So, hope you're now. Somebody was saying your audio. Is it audible now? Audible. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So as of now, so far, whatever you have seen is actually the automated way of migrating an application from any legacy SCM to Git-based SCM. It can be any uh, Git-based SCM of your choice, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or Azure DevOps. For a demonstration, we took GitHub. Our automated solution will support for any type of an Git-based SCM. Automatically, we can migrate, which you have seen it, and that will reduce a lot of your time. And from there on, how do you integrate with modern IDE? It can be integrated with IDz, or it can be integrated with Zubi Explorer as well. Any kind of an open IDE you can integrate, and you can do the modern build. So that's what we are seeing. So we have a great expertise about more than 2 decades, and we have in-house mainframe environments, and we have AI enabled tools, and we are having good calipers on digitalization, which means migration as well as modernization. Modernization, which means all the modern tools as well as any other latest zDevOps or AI enablement. We have a certified consultant. We have a flexible delivery models, and we the unique thing, niche thing with us is a continuous research and development for innovation that keeps us up to date on the industry requirements. And with that said, I'm going to open up the question answer forum. I quickly just say, as the part of this webinar, we wanted to have some kind of an offering, just in case if you have any kind of a legacy application which need to be migrated, we could able to help any of your organization for kind of a free assessment for 2 weeks to understand your landscape and come out with some kind of an what do you call estimates. And in case if you are in the way of modernization, if you have any kind of an issues, which we are very open to discuss and try see how we can support that. And in case if your team has a skill gap on the modernization where it has got stuck or delayed, and we can also see where what kind of a skill need to be addressed, we can try to support you to enable that. And we have a bunch of automated tools which may support for any migration activities which we can run wherever you stuck currently or wherever the phase you are into for a pilot application, which again we can do at the free for it. So with that said, let me open up the forum for a QA, and let me know if you have any queries. And the major focus here is how automatically you can migrate your application to modern system, and how the modern code change, version control, and build. These four, migrating, right? And actually these four things I have focused today. How do we automatically migrate, and how do we code change, how do we version control and build? And of course, we wanted to do the CI/CD orchestration, which is again a big topic, which we wanted to take it up like in the next webinar, because it's again big topic with the interest of time. So let me know if you have any queries. I'm happy to answer it here.
Hi, Vijay Lakshmi. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
I just have a small doubt. So once we migrated Endevor to Git, so can we have the older versions
Yes.
there?
Yes, the way in which we did an automated, if you look at the demo, right, in between, I'll be taking the complete extraction to your database. So the database remains your repository for the existing assets. So there you will have all the versions. If you have 50 versions, 100 versions, or 22 versions, whatever it is, you can able to get it there, because our application is extracting the complete history. The metadata information also we are capturing, and entire details, whatever it was there in Endevor, everything we are taking out. Even an approval process, approvers, who is having the access to which stage, everything we are taking up. In the automated way, we are migrating to this. And later on, if you wanted to have the same approval process, those things have to be enabled, we can able to work on. So the anything, whatever you had it in Endevor, we are extracting. In a way, this automated tool will help you to completely keep your information in the database, where you will have all your kind of an Endevor is structured with the help of stages, system, subsystem types, right? So everything we will be keeping in the form of a table with all types of records.
Okay.
So you will have all the versions, yes.
Okay, thank you. I have one more doubt, if you don't mind.
Yes. Yeah, please.
So, as you said, we are using the Git, we are taking the source from main, I mean, when you are have some new code changes.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, can we have multiple people can develop multiple changes,
Yes.
multiple project?
Yes, of course. I was showing you one, right, in Git, whatever the code change you can able to see. And when I compared, there was no conflict. Let's say, for example, this supports, even Endevor supports parallel development, but it has some other little way of complex process. But here it's the default capability of the tool, supposing the program A, right? Program A, you're doing, I'm doing. I'm doing in the line of 100th line to 120th line, and you are doing in thousands line to 1010 line, something like that. You do the code change, I do the code change. When we commit, it will take up, there is a conflict, right? So then you can say resolve conflict. There will be a two editor window opener. Actually, I wanted to show that because of the time I couldn't. It will differentiate in one color of whatever a code change I did. Whatever you did, it will be in a different color. In wherever it is, it will show up. You can just see that, try to accept and resolve the changes.
Okay.
It's like in Word, you will have, right, the two people are editing it, how you will keeping it, the same way you can do. And then we know, right, you are doing for some change request, I'm working for some other change. Okay, I can do. There will be a team lead who will try to get those changes, and it will get accepted and then committed towards. So supposing, say, for example, I'm taking a program A of version 1.15 is mine. When you do 1.16, when both is combined together, it is 1.17, it will get updated as the combined version. We'll have those kind of a transparency in the versioning also.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Anyway, this is a good question, actually. Okay, so actually I wanted to, we wanted to share some kind of a feedback link, which probably if you can fill up, it will be good for us to understand where we stand. And in case of any improvements required, we will take it forward in the forthcoming webinar. Of course, your input is very valuable, and we like to hear out from you more about how this session went, what was an objective set, and how it was delivered. And we are more than happy to hear out from your feedback. Please feel free to take a couple of minutes of time and fill out the form that will help us to take it for the next step. Any other questions? Those while you're filling up?
Hello. I
So,
put
hi.
my query in the chat box. Can you please see?
Okay, one sec. Heyman, yeah, for making changes to large sized source, exclude future of ISPF address is quite powerful. Is there any such a very good? See, the ISPF capabilities, exactly you can get it here with a concept called LPEX editor. IDz has an LPEX editor. There is an editor. You can open up in the LPEX editor. You can do the same exclude feature here in the command prompt with the help of this. So it is possible.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah. And with the queries, okay. Any other questions, please?
So, any of these tools, I mean, if we try to do any POC or anything as such, can these tools will be available with any limited subscription kind of thing?
Of course, yes. Of course, Ashok. Yeah, we can definitely touch base with you. Please note it down, Ashok. So we will touch base with you later and we can schedule a call. We'll try to understand. We can definitely give you an access and where you can try to see your own application, how maybe we will see, understand how it is. Accordingly, we can give you an access. It is doable. We'll do that.
Thanks.
Any other questions? And just to keep you informed, I wanted to see what is that? Should be. Is the question? What is that? Can you read out? One sec. I see some question from, I think, LinkedIn page. What are the modernization or migration tools as a mainframe software professional should we know well versed to enable for a DevOps, right? Excellent. So zDevOps. So zDevOps is actually whatever the tools we have seen now is going to support, and whatever you're going to see, zDevOps specific one which is going to come out, pipeline orchestration will support much well. This also will support your modern build, modern deployment is actually zDevOps. And this is my page. You can keep follow me and get connected with. And we have our own company pages. You can keep follow. You can able to see the forthcoming webinars. So this is our page. You can keep follow us. What else? Which is the most widely preferred cloud platform? See, when you say cloud for migrating DB2 to cloud, okay, even AWS, Azure are proven. Some of the customers have already migrated to AWS, or some of the customers are migrated to Azure, which is pretty much mainframe applications have been already migrated to those. Depending on the customer, I mean, infrastructure, whatever the organization has, we can try to work out both. I mean, any cloud will support for that matter. Since AWS is since long, Azure and AWS, there are some solutions are already available, and we have a success stories on the same. What else? That's all. Okay, sounds good. And for zDevOps, you should know DBB and any kind of a deployment tool, UCDZ on Z. I was talking about modern deployment and kind of an orchestration with either Jenkins or GitHub Actions that would help you to get it into zDevOps. Okay, so modern build, modern deploy, CI/CD orchestration with either Jenkins or GitHub Actions or GitLab CI. It can be anything. So those things are pretty much is the required apt skill set for a zDevOps engineer. Anything else? You have any queries? Guys, have you filled up the form, feedback form? So did you, is this session is informative? Anybody? I'd like to hear up from you.
Yes,
Yes, indeed.
Vijay,
Yes, indeed.
Great. Hemant and Punesh. Yeah. Gangadhar. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hemant, Sayed. Thank you. Any other doubts? Feel free. to discuss with us. We are pretty much open for any kind of a discussions, and we have a good expertise on these kind of an engagement. Yeah, thank you so much for those who submitted your feedback form, and others, please do submit, so which will help us to understand where we are and how to take it up in the forthcoming webinars. And one more thing I wanted to keep you posted. We do have 28 is another webinar which is on AI. So probably you guys can able to just see that you are attending that. It is not, it is for everybody. Don't see that I'm a mainframe, why I need to learn about AI. No, AI is becoming an need to be for everybody, and hopefully you can try to register and come to her, because once you modernize, right, there is an every other option of getting enabled with AI. So there you should not feel as you're handicapped or you're having a gap. Is it possible to visit office? Yes, of course, you can very much welcome. We are located nearby Velachery. We are noting it down. We'll share you the location. You can feel free to come and visit us. Yeah, location will, our team will share you the locations. So I think 28th link also I can share. Can somebody ask Sweta or Kritika to share the link? Yeah, my team will be sharing here the link for 28th, which is on, of course, AI, where we are discussing about LLM or how do we build a chatbot. So, which is pretty much not too much of technical or too much of programming. You have to start looking into that as also. Thanks, Tanika Shalam. Thank you so much. AA or the link, can you share the next webinar link? Can you share so that they can, it will be handy in this case.
Hi, Vijayalakshmi Garu. This is Ravi Kumar Singara. So thanks for your demo. So it is very useful to me. In fact, I'm very happy to hear. I mean to see your demo, and really it is very impressive. So we'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ravi Kumar. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you. So any other queries you have?
Hey, ma'am, this is Tausif here. Sorry.
Yes, Tausif. Yeah.
Yes. I would like. I mean, we are working on several. The solutioning team is working on several modernization projects. Okay, a majority of them involves, they're moving some of these VSC workloads into out of mainframe and all that. Okay, and we are engaging a lot of vendors for it, right? And I would like to introduce you to our group as well. So that's from.
Yeah.
So I would like to know more about what all so that I could take this up with my leadership team, right? And then
of course, pretty much yes. We are very much happy, and you can walk us. We'll schedule a call with you as a priority. Probably if tomorrow you're free, we can have a call, or you can also walk in. And so we will discuss at the first step, and we can we will brief you as an organization standpoint, whatever the capabilities we have, whatever the solutions which will support for your modernization, we'll brief you. With that, you can take it to your senior management team, and you can schedule a call with us. And so that would be the right option to take it for the next step.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Yeah. So here is the link for the next 28. Hopefully, probably it's recommended for everybody. Okay, if you can also try to understand, that would be, anyway, you're going to spend just 1 hour where you can able to easily get. So otherwise, no, you have to sit and learn too many books, and you need to do hands-on. So here is the one. So you can, we normally teach very clearly. So I also have a good training background where I know how to train, how to explain them. So that's where it becomes an easy for me. So within an hour, you can understand how the chatbot can be, how it is working, how it can be prepared or built. So obviously that's where we are heading towards, and which will be useful. And yeah.
So I just want a small thing. So you're only giving the trainings for only modernization or normal mainframes also?
We do IT services like projects and consulting as well as training.
Okay, fine. So
one question for, sorry, yeah, please continue.
Yes.
Is there any possibility to share that PPT?
Yes. PPT. Anyway, we will be sharing the recordings as well. I think all the registered participants will be receiving the PPTs. Recordings. So along with that, you will have a PPT as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are ready to share. We are ready to share. Yeah.
Yeah, Vijaya, actually, I am looking for, any POC with your, company. Is it possible? Because if I am working, since 17 years, but I am very much interested to know more about, this modernization.
What you said,
but
Ravi? Ravi, what
I
you
want
said?
to learn, much more about, this modernization perspective.
Okay,
But I have a good experience in mainframe technology since 17 years.
Right.
But I never, got opportunity to modernization projects. Right now,
Okay.
in my company also doing some modernization, but unfortunately, I am doing in other area. So is it possible to, join your organization, like,
Yes.
training center to, yeah.
Yes, of course. We do offer that. Yes.
What is the process for that one?
I think it's Ravi Kumar. We will be sharing
Yes,
one
yes.
now. See, our team will reach out to you anyway post this. So this is what the complete mastery, where you will learn completely all the modernizations, what it is, how this can be, what are the approach, tools and technologies. Will brief, and there will be an modern IDE. There are different. See, all these four will cover it up. One we will detail IDz, Zubi Explorer, VS Code, and Enterprise Developer for Z, and one we detail it into it. And there will be a modern analyzer, whatever is there, ADDI. And there will be a Git, whatever we have seen, it's going to be in depth, along with all the concepts and code change, branches, and the branching strategy and those things. And of course, modern build. And along with this, how do you do your deployment as well as your zDevOPs integration with this pipeline with Jenkins. Any one we will do, either Jenkins or CI, GitHub. Any one will do, the rest will just brief that you can take it up. And we'll also touch upon AI and AI enablement on what are the tools, what are the various AI features you can incorporate, what's the next code is for Z, what's the next assistant, and also API integration, you cannot limit because there are some places, depending on the application, API integration is very much easy option for modernization. So in a way, we will talk about ZOS Connect for API integration on Zubi API, and also some kind of a various vendor tools which is available, which is industry is using it. We will cover it up along with hybrid cloud and in-place modernization. And we will also help you to 3 to 5 certification. You can get it, which is actually from an IBM. We'll have our own certification with whatever the course you are getting it. You can able to get 5. I've listed only 3. You can able to do 5. Our people have already gained that. So that's what it is. Yeah, we will share you these details.
Great. Actually, API integration, those are things already I experienced. Even I got many IBM certifications. It's good to know. So thank you. Thanks for your sharing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Last question, Vijayalakshmi.
Yes.
So if you don't mind.
Please go ahead.
So I saw all the full of courses. Is there any database migration? Is anything happen?
We can definitely talk to you in person, and or maybe we will connect over a call for the same, for a database migrations. Yes, we can discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So Balamurali, yes, thank you so much for sharing the number. We will schedule the call with you. And Saurav, thank you so much for your feedback. Yes. You can definitely connect with us and we will schedule a call. We have an email ID. We will try to schedule a call. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Any other? Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
So only Chennai having the branch, right? As of now.
Yeah, as of now, Chennai, and we are kind of extending, and we have our presence started at USA and Canada, and shortly
Oh.
with UK as well as Middle East.
Okay,
And
great.
today there
Good
was
to
a
hear.
discussion with one of the UK partner, and we are going to have our presence there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Vijayalakshmi, I shared my phone number. If any
Yes. Yes,
please
Ravi.
connect
Yeah,
with me, then I will connect.
we get it. Okay, you based out of USA, is it? Sounds good.
Yes, I am in
We will
Texas.
Yeah, very good. I'm okay, Texas, is it? In October, I'm traveling Orlando for a conference. Probably,
Okay.
in case if you are also nearby Orlando, you can feel free to.
Yeah, you can give me a call. I mean, I will be.
Sure.
I mean,
We can discuss. We can also meet. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm traveling for
Thank you.
an tech exchange conference. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Right.
Yeah, if you want any help from, I mean, myself, I mean, you can reach out to me or just
Definitely.
formally me. I will connect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes, Ravi. We do.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, thank you so much, guys. If you if you have any other queries, I'm still open, and yeah, we have time. We don't have any kind of a hot stop. We have time, and we are ready to give you responses for any doubts. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. Any queries you have it in live chat? Can you check it? No, LinkedIn. I don't know. I have not joined it. Thank you so much for today's session. Invitation to response. Thanks, Famish. Yeah.
Actually, it's my son name. My name is Shiv Prasad. So it's okay.
Your name is what?
Shiv Prasad.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we already connected LinkedIn.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. What is that? I have a hands-on experience in innovation. Please impossible to take that from me. Sure. Yeah, we will connect with them. So there is a LinkedIn chat. We will connect. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your active participation. First of all, I loved it, the way in which you have interacted, which is very much impressing. And yeah, I did not kept the interaction at the middle because that may deviate. And with the interest of time, because somebody would have blocked the 45 minutes to 1 hour for this one, so we don't want it to distract. So that's where we kept the question and answer session at the end. Thank you so much. And so those who have requirement chat, we will touch base with you probably Thursday. We'll connect over the call and schedule the meetings, and we can connect. Those who wanted to come in person, you can meet us. Our team will share the details of the locations and other details. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all. Yeah, thank you. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm wrapping up the session probably if you don't have any queries. Thank you.